Is that recording?
That's recording. Here we are at Grapevine. Here we are at the Vineyards. We're checking out another RV park. This is on Lake Grapevine, and look at all this concrete, look at all this asphalt, look at all this grass. It's a beautiful, beautiful park. This is the kind that we built. And so a lot of the really nice features, you can see a couple of extra pavilions. These are little tiny coverings. It's a premium site. So that's one of the premiums that we offer to our guests. Anyway, we're gonna walk around and check out this beautiful place. It's called the Vineyards in Grapevine, Texas. Let's walk around and look at a little bit of the vineyards here. As you can see, high quality guests. And you can tell by the look of their campers. And you can tell by the brands of their campers, and you know how expensive they are. So like I said, there's one of those little tiny personal pavilions is what I call them. And it's a nice little addition. It's an upgrade. So if you want to have a nicer experience, you can rent a place that has a little personal pavilion like that. And then there's an even higher quality one right there, completely almost enclosed. Really nice, beautiful place. Let's look at this gorgeous RV. Wow, that's a Class A diesel pusher, which is the highest cost and really beautiful on the outside and on the inside. You can see how well they've done their bathrooms here. Now this park is actually not for sale at all. It's not even owned by private ownership. It's owned by the city here in Grapevine. So they probably had a lot of tax budget. I don't know if I'd call that cheating or not, but they're not our competition. They're a city-run park. Here's the little store, and we're going to show some of the stuff that they are using as ancillary income. Right away you see the golf cart. Those are for rent. If you like to rent a golf cart, you can. Here's a little store. Calls it Hall's Camp Store.
Oh, they do have shepherd's donuts. Yeah.
So they have donuts on Sunday, 9 a.m. until they're gone. I guess that's a pretty popular event over here. Here's the next thing I wanted to show you. This is kind of interesting. They've got a firewood vending machine. This is not something we're terribly interested in looking into, but it is something interesting to look at. They've got firewood right inside there. So you come up, here it is. You come up and put in your card. You make your payment, and then it tells you which one to open, and the magnetic lock opens. You reach in there, you pull out your firewood. So that's a nice little ancillary income we can include. Here's the entrance. All of this asphalt, all of this concrete. It's all expensive to build, but it really raises the amount of money that you can charge per month, per week, per day, whatever it is. Also, they're renting these bikes out. So if you want to rent a bike, you got bikes you can rent. And the way we do all this is all online. They do a lot of that here online, but we do it all online so that everything is together, everything is accounted for together. And you can see it's getting kind of busy. Sunday morning and everybody's coming in and out, going out to the water. You can see the water is right down there. I'm gonna push pause and then we'll record some more of the water in a minute. There's my boy Johnny Boy McGaw. There's Stephanie Culver, the RV girl, eating donuts. So this place has sweet treats today. Let's take a picture of the sweet treats. Got a little complimentary coffee action and donuts. Here till they're gone. Here's the camp store. Now it actually has some grocery types. This camp store, a little bit more than other camp stores we've looked at before, but this is actually got groceries in it. Nice little patio right out here in the front. And people love, obviously, to come and gather in little areas like this.
The same day it would be.
Here's a great little camp store.
More into the parking lot.
Yes.
And the parking lot was
Yeah,
going.
it does a lot of damage.
A little bit of souvenir type stuff, mostly stuff that you need, like batteries, water hose, WD-40. There's me filming myself in the mirror. And here is the rest of the little camp store. This is one of the type of sites where you pull in, and it's kind of like a parallel park, but not really parallel park. You pull through, kind of, but it's not like a regular pull through. And you can see here's the hookup, and that's one space, and there's their picnic table, and I'll walk this way so you can see a little bit more of what I'm talking about. But so he's pulled through back there in the back, and then there's another one right here in front of him, and these are ones that are addable whenever we go into a value add situation. So whenever we buy an RV park that might have already pretty much been built out and not a lot more room to build, this is something we can do along the side. If it doesn't look like we can go 40 or 70 feet back to do a back end, we could probably put 5 or 10 in the area where we couldn't put the back ends. So this one I love. It's called a toy hauler. That whole back right there opens up. So that whole back opens up, and there's a little garage in there. You could put all sorts of other toys, or you could have a bedroom in the back there. This is a really great one. We're walking down by the water a little bit. A lot of people are starting to get up and moving around. There's another one of the side sites like I was talking about, just the side of the road pull through type. And they've got 4 of them right there. It's a great way to add in, because they couldn't have, you can tell from here, they didn't have enough room to have one back in or pull through, but there's room for them to pull along the side of the road. So that's one of the styles of sites that we're using. You know, a lot of times we're looking at properties that are by a lake. The lake is a huge draw for people, and people just like being by water. They like being by the lake. So look at this place. There's water over there. We got this huge, gorgeous Class A beast. Beautiful, beautiful machine.
I see a lot of
And another big part of the business that we haven't really talked about much is marinas. Marinas make a very good profit. So here's the one at Grapevine. Of course, like I said, this is owned by the city and such. And they have a chili cook-off today. I'm trying to get qualified to be a chili judge. I submitted my resume. I'm trying to qualify to be a chili judge. Let's go look at this playground. So the chili cook-off, let's zoom in a little bit. They've got a huge pavilion down there. So that's one of the ancillary incomes that's real popular with an RV park, is a big pavilion like that. Because look at this huge space we can rent out, and the cost goes to zero. You know, the cost of adding an additional customer goes to zero when we've already built a nice big pavilion and a nice big space set aside for that. Whenever the cost goes to zero, that means the return on the investment becomes infinite. Let's look at this park. This is a pretty cool park. They're doing so much now with these cool parks that kids love that it's just not worth it to slap up just a cheap playground. It's really worth it to spend the money on these playgrounds because it's so much fun for the kids. That means so much peace for the parents. That means the parents want to come back and they want to book with us again. So here's an example. This is the type of playground we like to build. And as you can see, they've set it up right next to the water. And that lets us get into the next little bit of income. We've got this swimming area here. Hopefully you can see the orange buoys out there. But on top of just that swimming area, we got the Life Vest, we got the canoes, we got paddle boats, paddle boards, all type of water activities. Once again, big return on water activities because once you buy all the equipment, it lasts for quite a long time. Here's some more of the paddle boards you can pick up. Some of the little things you can walk around and float on. And look at this site. I love the way they've built it up to where they can have a premium site that's really close to the water. And so you can see, I mean, it's a Class A vehicle that's on top of there. So it's probably not the cheapest site to be this close to the water. And then I love that pavilion as well. They're not even renting that one out, but that big huge shade pavilion out there on the little swimming beach. But they've made a perfect little square swimming beach.